Hey there, YouTube. I know I just did one of these videos, but BuzzFeed has, I shit you not, 33 questions white people have for white people. I shit you not. I was so dumbfounded by this video. I had to watch it 3 times. It's a short video. It's a small video. But I had to watch it 3 times. The the native the my native one is still uploading. It hasn't even uploaded yet. And I watched uh what was it? Asians have questions for white people, blacks have questions for white people, but I feel like it's more or less the same thing on the native aspect. Just a little bit more stereotypical and racist really, but this cuts the cake. So let's just go. Let's.
Why do you assume only other races like fried chicken? I love fried chicken. It should be a white person stereotype because of me.
Amen, brother. Fried chicken's the shit. Kentucky Fried Chicken is the shit. I wish I had a KFC up here. I'll be fuck. I actually just had some chicken the other night.
Why do we make it so we only have pumpkin in the fall? I want pumpkin all the time.
Why can't
Pumpkin
most white
pie.
people dance?
Seriously, like, is it genetic or something? Do we have, like, stiff hips or, like,
You think white people can't dance? Then you haven't watched Grease or any other musical that is primarily white. What about ballet? That's not dancing, and there are a lot of breakdancing groups that are white or have white members in them. So, in high school, there was plenty of white people, and these were, the jocks and the preps, and they were sitting there pulling out fucking moves that I have no chance of ever fucking doing. I could probably do a waltz, and that's about it.
feet?
I can dance.
Why do you get so annoyed when other people don't speak English?
English is hard. We have silent Ks.
Why do we get so
Yes, English is actually the hardest language to speak. I shit you not. It is. All other languages in the world flip their meaning, including other white languages like French, German, uh, Polish. They all speak in the opposite way that English speaks. So yes, but the French language has a lot of silent letters as well, and but yeah, English is a very hard language to speak. I don't fault anybody for not being able to speak English when their primary language is not English.
excited to brag on Instagram that we went to this really cool, authentic cultural festival, even though we went with all of our white friends? Why do white people
Authentic cultural festival. I don't know what an authentic cultural festival is. The only thing that I've ever come close to being authentic were the powwows where I live at. That's the only thing that I've ever been that was actually authentic. Everything else was, they claimed to be authentic, but all they had was people dressing in uh, the guards, and then you get corn dogs. Corn dogs isn't an authentic native thing. It's not an authentic German thing. It's not an authentic Chinese thing. It's just an American thing.
spray tan until they turn orange?
Can't you just
I
be
don't.
comfortable in your own body?
I'm just saying, it's not tan, it's orange.
Why do you think that since you've seen 5 seasons of The Wire, you're a cultural expert? Why?
I don't even know what the fuck The Wire is. So call me media ignorant. I don't know what the fuck The Wire is. So I didn't even do any research into it.
Do you believe everything you see on TV when it comes to other races?
Why do we get upset when a TV show becomes diverse, even though diverse usually just means 2 to 3 people?
I don't know who becomes upset at diverse TV shows. Well, to be completely totally honest, there really aren't many diverse, like this lady says, there was only like one or two people of color. Yeah, I mean, I watch Big Bang, I watch, that '70s show, shows like that. It's primarily white, yes. Call me racist just because I watch primarily white shows.
Why do you assume movies with white stars are automatically more relatable than movies with people of color?
People of color have had to relate to white characters for all of cinematic history.
This is actually really the reason why people relate, and it's not just white people relating to white films, it's black people relating to black films and so on and so forth. It's because it is that race. We can't, me as a white person, I can't relate to a black film because I haven't lived a black life. I can't relate to that. It's physically and psychologically impossible to relate to anything other than what you know. So that in and of itself is moot.
Is Viola Davis the first black woman to win an Emmy for Best Actress?
Why aren't we complaining that the Oscars and other award shows are like all white?
It's just like white people congratulating other white people.
I don't know what they're talking about. The Oscars, the Emmys, the Grammys. Everybody's there. Everybody's there. It doesn't matter if you're white or black or Asian or what. I don't care. Everybody's there. So I just don't get it.
People out of being white.
Everybody should be represented.
Why don't we know the difference between appropriation and appreciation?
Why can't we figure out how to make our own pop culture, our own slang, our own cool clothes, instead of stealing other people's cool clothes and then saying that they are our cool?
We do have our own slang, and we do have our own cool clothes and our own pop culture. It's called metal. Yeah. And if you really want to get further into it, I'm Scottish. I wish I had a kilt. That's white. It's white. Scottish are white. Don't judge me. When I was in high school and about till 22, I was wearing trench coats, trip pants. I have a freaking gauge in my ear. It's a smaller gauge, but I got it. My facial hair is primarily European. And white people, we do slang. All slang means is that it's one word that means something, but we twist it around to mean something else. For instance, gay meant happy or flamboyant. While in today's day and age, and it was the white person who did this, they turned gay into meaning abnormal or homosexual. So, yeah, we do have our own slang.
Close. Why are white people obsessed with Wes Anderson?
Why would you ever say thug life? It's a bad life.
What do you have against...
The reason why, and yes, this is unfortunate, the reason why white people say thug life is because they connect with the thug culture, and they think that being outside of their own race is cool. The majority of people who say thug life comes from the rap culture, and that's primarily black. So it's white people pretending to be black. So that's why white people say thug life. They're pretending to be black.
Seasoning and spiciness. Didn't Christopher Columbus discover America looking for spices?
I'm not afraid of seasoning or spicing my food. The two seasonings that I put on my food, especially my meats, seasoning salt and chili pepper. And I put a lot on it. I mean, I'm surprised I'm not dead from all the sodium intake that I put on my meat. I'm not even kidding.
Casseroles are thick. Why do you try to avoid confrontation at all costs?
Why?
The reason why I try to avoid confrontation, I don't know if he's talking about physical or verbal confrontation. Physical confrontation I try to avoid at all costs is because I did take a couple years of martial arts, and during those martial arts, it was ingrained into me. I have military family members and friends, and the general census is violence is the last resort. And as for verbal confrontation, I don't pull away from that at all. You got something to say that I disagree with, I'll let you know I'm going to disagree with it. Plain and simple. It'll turn into a debate, and depending on how the other person reacts, it will turn into an argument, which is a confrontation.
Is it crazy that I'm white and I have a big butt?
Why do you make such a big deal when somebody...
I like big butts and I cannot lie. You other brothers can't deny. When a girl walks in with the idiot of Western rum thing in your face, you get Okay, that's probably about as much as I can sing about that before I get into trouble. But I'm a white guy and I like big butts, so don't stereotype me. And the majority of my girlfriends were white and they had big butts. So I just like big butts. So it's not a surprise that a woman has that a white chick has a big ass. It's very common, actually.
He doesn't want to hike. Why do you
don't
keep
like
talking
hiking.
about reverse racism? That is not a thing.
You're
We're
right,
the
it's
people
not.
in power.
Racism is about oppression. Sorry, white people have not been oppressed.
Why are you two?
Racism is not about oppression. Racism is defined as the unnecessary fear or hatred of a particular group of people based on their skin color. It's not about oppression. And the whole reverse racism, I've actually heard this term, and it's like, if you know the English language, and these were English speaking people, these were Americans whose primary language was English, and that's reverse racism. No, it's racism. If I go up to a black person and say you're a nigger, that's being racist. If a black person comes up to me and says you're a cracker, that's being racist. If I walk down the street with my girlfriend and she clutches her purse when a black guy comes by, that's racism. If I'm walking down the street and a black chick clutches her purse, that's racism. It's not oppression. It's hatred or fear. Unjustified hatred or fear.
Afraid to speak up when someone says something racist. Why do we think that having one friend of color means that nothing we say or do could possibly ever be racist?
I have many friends of color, and I still use racial slurs. A black friend of mine, we jokingly call him the slave. It's an inside joke between us. And he got a kick. He was the one who started it. He was the one who started it. Because I took my girlfriend's purse and I threw it at him and said, "Carry it." He was like, and then he goes, "Yes, master." It was just fucking hilarious. So, people. Now, if it really is hateful racism, then yes, it's bad. But if you're just joking around and playing, he calls me cracker all the fucking time. All the fucking time. I am not offended at all by it. Because I know he's joking. I know he's joking. He's a black dude calling me a cracker, but I know he's joking. That's just how it is. I had another black friend in high school, blacker than black, but whiter than me. I shit you not. And he'd call me nigger, and I'd call him cracker. We just joke around like that. That's so. I don't get where these people are coming from, saying, "Oh, just because you have a friend of color, nothing you do is racist." No, if I go out to I have black friends, I have native friends, I have Hispanic friends. If I go up to any of those races and say any of the particular racial slurs towards one of those groups of people, I'm still being racist. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I'm still being racist. It's still racist.
Why does being half white automatically make my commentary on white culture only half true? I am just as much white as I am Mexican.
No, I thought he was just straight up white. I mean, he's got those big fucking white Dumbo ears going on there. Woo! But it doesn't matter what race you are. It honestly doesn't. Right now, your comment doesn't mean shit. Or he says, what does my being half white have to do with my statements only being half true? It doesn't matter what race you are. If you speak out against something, if you're trying to defend the white race, being half white, half Mexican, if you're trying to defend the white race, you're still white. Think about it like Magic the Gathering. You got a gold spell going on, and it's both a red and a black. It's considered to be red spells, and it's considered to be a black spell, but yet it's a gold spell. So it's still both things. It's still both. You're still both. It doesn't make you any less of a human being. BuzzFeed, you really need to get up with this.
Why do you believe that Black Lives Matter means that your life doesn't matter?
Every life.
I don't think that Black Lives Matter, so mine doesn't matter. The video that I did make on it, and the videos that a lot of other people are making on it, the reason why they're saying this is because the Black Lives Matters movement is promoting racism. It is promoting diversity, separation, segregation. That's what it's promoting. And the people who are speaking out against this, mainly, me, and from what I've seen other white people, there were a couple blacks as well who did it, but we're trying to make people see that the way they're doing it is wrong, and it's not, we don't think that it's just, they're saying that, oh, just Black Lives Matters and white lives don't matter at all. But we're trying to say that the reasons why they're doing it is wrong.
Matters. It's just that one has a harder time living.
Why do you get offended when you see a table full of black people, but not when you see a lunchroom full of white
I don't.
people?
Why do you always ask to have a white people club?
You already do. It's the student union. It's primarily white. They have a black student union because you don't represent them well.
Why do you see the success
Exactly. There are student unions for all different races. And yes, it is unfortunate. But if you actually look at the numbers, the blacks actually do need their own special union. In Milwaukee, where I'm from, the majority of blacks drop out of school within the first 2 years of high school. And the ones that do go all the way through pass by the skin of their teeth. And the ones that actually do pass with good grades don't go to college. The ones that do go to college, they do very well for themselves. But that's a very small number. And that is why there is a special student union just for blacks to get the more blacks to go to college.
Of people of color as a threat to you.
You know that a 2-minute video about whiteness isn't reverse racism, right? 2 minutes about whiteness, hundreds of years of systemic oppression. Yeah.
Okay, we need to stop with this, with the things that happened in the past. Do you know how many different types of people were suppressed and enslaved and conquered and mistreated throughout history? But now we're just focusing on 400 years of American history. Granted, this is America, but you know what? The whole world suffered in this way. The whole world. I don't hear anything about blacks enslaving blacks over in Africa. Blacks enslaving blacks. That's okay. That's okay because it's a black enslaving a black. Okay, well, what about the Egyptians enslaving the Jews? What about the Jews enslaving the Muslims? What about the Muslims enslaving Christians and the Christians enslaving Muslims? You know, what about all these other different groups of people enslaving different groups of people? Where's that coming in? You know, where is that? That's what I want to know. Why aren't people bitching about that?
I think we can deal with this. Why are we upset about immigrants when we were the first immigrants? And we were white people running away from other white people. That kind of shows you how bad white people can be.
Yeah, you're right. White people can be bad. But, you know, immigration, you know, what are we talking about immigration? Are we talking about legal immigration or illegal immigration? There is a difference. And there is a difference between being an immigrant and being a warband. All right, when whites came over from Europe the second time around, not the first time, the second time around, we didn't come in as immigrants. We came in as conquerors. We wanted to conquer. So technically, we weren't immigrants. We were soldiers coming over to take what we wanted. Immigration sets into two parts: legal immigration and illegal immigration. Legal immigration, nobody has a problem with because they are contributing to society as a whole here in America. While illegal immigration is actually hurting us. You know, there are ways to get your legal status. But if you want America, you need to come over in force with an army. You won't be an immigrant anymore. You will be an invader. You will be a conqueror. That is the only that is why, me personally, that is why I have a problem with immigration. And that's illegal immigration, is because it does take away jobs that legal immigrants and legal citizens can get. You know, illegal immigration is hurting both the natural citizens, the legal citizens, and the legal immigrants of America. You know, the legal immigrants, they got to spend money in years just to try to get their citizenship, their legal citizenships, to become an American. But in order to even do any of that, they need to get a formal education and they need to get a job. And in order to do that, illegal immigrants need to stop taking away their jobs. Not just my jobs, but the legal immigrants that are coming over are being affected by illegal immigrants just as much as I am. So, it's either be an invader, a conqueror, or get out. That's it. You either invade and conquer, or you get out. The Europeans were not immigrants. They were invaders. They were conquerors. Plain and simple. So, learn words and come up with some better arguments. I mean, this was white people questions for white people. So, and this can technically be placed as racism. Because you don't have to be of a different race to be racist. So, anyways, as always, blessed be.